So back in the 17th century, a Sicilian nun wrote a letter claiming that she had been possessed by the devil.
A strange night in the convent of Palma de Montecchiaro in the year 1676. Something terrifying happened inside a quiet convent in the town of Palma de Montecchiaro, Sicily. It was a place where nuns lived simple, peaceful lives dedicated to prayer. But on one strange night, that peace was suddenly broken. Sister Maria Crocifissa della Concezione, a 31-year-old nun, was found on the floor of her room. She was covered in ink. Her face, hands, and robe were stained. She held a strange piece of paper filled with symbols no one could understand. The other nuns believed she had been possessed by a dark force, possibly even the devil himself. They rushed to her side, trying to help her, but she wouldn't speak clearly. All she said was that the devil had taken control of her and forced her to write the strange letter. The letter Sister Maria wrote wasn't in Latin or Italian or any language anyone knew. The symbols looked like a mix of Greek, Arabic, and ancient runes. No one in the convent could read it, and even scholars who tried later were left confused. Sister Maria claimed that it was the devil's language. She said Satan was trying to turn her away from God and was using her as a tool to spread his message. The letter scared everyone. It was quickly locked away in the convent, hidden from the world. Over the years, it became a legend, something whispered about but never fully explained. No one could decode it, and many believed it was just the mad scribbles of a tormented woman, but others believed it was something far more dangerous. The mystery of the unreadable letter for over 300 years. The strange letter written by Sister Maria remained a mystery. The paper was kept hidden in religious archives, and only a few people even knew about it. Many believed it was too dangerous to study. Others thought it was simply nonsense, the result of a mental illness. But some researchers never gave up. They believed there was more to the letter, something hidden, something important. In the early 2000s, a copy of the letter was quietly shared with a group of historians and language experts. They studied it for years but couldn't figure it out. The symbols didn't match any known language. The words didn't follow any normal rules. It was as if the letter came from another world. One of the most confusing parts of the letter was how detailed it was. It wasn't just random marks. It seemed to have structure, repeated patterns, and even sentences. This made it hard to ignore. Some believed it was written in a secret code. Others thought it was a lost ancient language, perhaps something the devil himself had once spoken. Still, no one could crack it. The mystery only grew deeper. Who or what really wrote the letter? Was Sister Maria telling the truth about being possessed? Or was she suffering from something else? The story faded into legend again, that is, until a modern tool stepped in, one that changed everything. The rise of artificial intelligence. In recent years, artificial intelligence, or AI, has become a powerful tool. AI can learn from patterns, understand languages, and even translate old scripts that humans can't read. It has helped solve many mysteries like decoding lost languages and finding hidden meanings in ancient texts. So, when researchers got access to the letter from Sister Maria, they decided to try something new. They fed the letter into a deep learning AI system trained to study unknown languages. This AI was designed to find patterns in symbols, compare them to known texts, and offer possible translations. What happened next shocked everyone. At first, the AI struggled. The symbols were unusual and didn't match anything directly. But then, the AI began to notice things: repeated shapes, sentence-like structures, and patterns that looked like grammar. Slowly, word by word, it began to make sense of the letter. The translation wasn't perfect, but it was clear enough to understand the message, and that message was dark, very dark. The letter wasn't just the result of a confused mind. It carried clear ideas, strange warnings, and messages that questioned everything people believed. It talked about God, Satan, religion, and the nature of human existence in ways that made researchers uncomfortable. The contents made it hard to ignore the possibility that Sister Maria had been telling the truth all along. The chilling message revealed. What did the letter say? According to the AI's translation, it was a disturbing and twisted message. It included phrases like, God thinks he can free mortals, and this system works for no one. One part read, God is dead, man invented God. These were not random statements. They seemed to come from a place of deep anger and confusion, perhaps even despair. The letter mocked religious beliefs. It described heaven as a myth and called Jesus and the Holy Spirit dead weights. It was as if the writer was trying to destroy the idea of faith itself. The AI also found references to a river of pain and endless chains of guilt, hinting at deep emotional or spiritual suffering. One chilling line said, "The burden of choice is the lie they gave us." This made researchers think about free will, sin, and the meaning of human suffering. Was this the voice of a person battling inner demons, or something far worse? Some scholars believe Sister Maria may have been struggling with schizophrenia or another mental illness, but others are not so sure. They point to the structure and meaning in the letter. It wasn't random or chaotic. It was focused, intentional, and filled with dark knowledge. Could it really have come from a supernatural force? Or was it the result of a powerful human mind breaking under pressure? Sister Maria's life and struggle. Let's better understand the letter. It's important to look at Sister Maria's life. She was born Isabella Tomasi into a noble Sicilian family. At the age of 15, she joined the Benedictine convent and became Sister Maria. She was known to be intelligent, passionate, and deeply religious, but she also suffered from strong emotional struggles. According to convent records, she often fasted, prayed for long hours, and sometimes claimed to see visions. Some say she wanted to become a saint. Others believe she was caught between deep faith and deep fear when she wrote the letter. It wasn't the first time she had acted strangely. The other nuns said she had spoken in strange voices before and claimed to feel something inside her that she couldn't explain. Was she truly possessed? Or was she suffering under the weight of religious pressure, loneliness, and mental illness? It's hard to say. In the 1600s, mental health wasn't understood. Many things were blamed on spirits or demons. If someone acted strangely, they were often thought to be cursed or possessed. Sister Maria may have been crying out for help in the only way she knew how, or she may have truly experienced something unexplainable. Either way, the letter she left behind became the most lasting part of her story, and thanks to modern technology, it has returned to the world more terrifying than ever. Science versus the supernatural. Decoding of the letter has sparked new debates between science and religion. Some researchers say it proves nothing more than the effects of mental illness. They believe the AI simply found meaning where there was none. But others say the opposite. They believe the message is too clear, too focused, to be the product of madness. And they wonder, if Sister Maria wasn't mad, then who or what was speaking through her? Could a supernatural force have used her hand to send a warning? Or was she a victim of dark thoughts shaped by centuries of religious guilt? The answers aren't easy, and that's what makes this story so powerful. Today, AI is being used to uncover ancient texts, unlock the secrets of the past, and even predict human behavior. But when it touches something as mysterious as a letter from the devil, it raises new questions. What should we believe? What should we fear? Some fear that digging deep into ancient secrets may unlock things we don't fully understand. Others see this as a chance to finally understand the human mind and the beliefs that shaped our world. Whether you believe Sister Maria was possessed or simply broken, her story reminds us of one thing. The line between reality and myth is thinner than we think. The letter that still haunts the world, even though the letter has been translated, its meaning is still debated. Some people think it's a warning about blind faith. Others think it's proof of a real spiritual war happening beyond what we can see. The Vatican has never made a public comment about the letter. The Church prefers to keep such stories private, especially when they deal with possession or the devil. But people who have seen the translation can't stop thinking about it. It feels personal. It feels like something meant to be buried, and yet, here it is resurrected by machines that never sleep, read without emotion, and don't know what they've done. The idea that a nun, locked away in a convent centuries ago, may have written a message from the devil is terrifying. But the fact that a modern machine can finally read it, that's something even more disturbing. What else is out there, waiting to be decoded? What other messages from the past have been hidden in plain sight? The letter from Sister Maria is not just a story about a nun or a demon. It's a story about belief, madness, and the limits of human understanding. It reminds us that even after centuries, some voices are still speaking, whispering from the shadows, warning us that not everything should be known. In 1676, a nun wrote a message from the devil. Now AI has decoded it, and it's terrifying. Paragraph 1, a shocking mystery from the past. In the year 1676, something very strange happened inside a quiet convent in Sicily, Italy. A nun named Sister Maria Crocifissa della Concezione was found on the floor of her room, her face pale, her hands trembling, and ink splattered across her body. In her hands was a letter, written in symbols and codes that no one at the time could understand. The letter looked like it had been written in several different languages, but none of the words made any real sense. When the other nuns asked her what had happened, Sister Maria said something that shocked everyone. She claimed the devil had taken control of her and made her write the letter. For hundreds of years, people believed this story was either a lie or just the result of mental illness. The strange letter was kept in the convent, locked away and mostly forgotten. But today, thanks to modern technology and artificial intelligence, researchers have finally been able to read it, and what they found is chilling. The decoded letter talks about the Holy Trinity, the devil, and a broken spiritual system. It's not just a random group of words, it's a message. And some believe it may be a warning to us today. Paragraph 2. What the letter actually said for centuries. People looked at Sister Maria's letter and had no idea what it meant. The strange writing mixed Greek, Latin, symbols, and letters from ancient languages. It didn't follow normal grammar rules, and many experts thought it was just the scribbles of a troubled mind. But in 2017, a group of researchers from Italy decided to try something different. They used a computer program powered by artificial intelligence, or AI. They fed the strange letter into the program and taught it to recognize patterns in old languages. To everyone's surprise, the AI slowly started to understand the letter. The first words it translated were, "This system works for no one." Another line said, "Perhaps now, Styx is certain." In Greek mythology, the river Styx was the path to the underworld, the land of the dead. The message also called the Holy Trinity God, Jesus, and the Holy Spirit, dead weights. These are not things you expect a nun to write. The letter didn't sound like it came from someone begging for God's help. It sounded like something cold and calculated, something angry, something that wanted to speak through her. The more they read, the clearer it became. This letter was not nonsense. It had a dark purpose. Paragraph 3. Who was Sister Maria, really? Sister Maria Crocifissa della Concezione was not just any nun. She was deeply devoted to her faith and had spent many years living in the Palma de Montechiaro convent. Reports from the time say she was quiet, obedient, and spiritual, but others also say she sometimes acted strangely. She would have sudden fits, speak in strange voices, and refuse to take communion. The holy bread and wine the Catholics believe represents the body and blood of Christ. The nuns around her believed she was being attacked by demons. They claimed she would scream at night, speak in different languages, and even faint during prayer. When she wrote the mysterious letter, she said she was possessed by the devil, who used her hand to write a message in his own words. For years, people thought she was mentally ill. Modern doctors who have studied her story suggest she may have had schizophrenia or bipolar disorder. These conditions can cause hallucinations and strange behavior, but even scientists admit one thing is strange. If she was sick, how did she create a complex letter with rules, structure, and symbols from many ancient languages? Could a nun in a closed convent really invent something so advanced on her own? Or was something else guiding her hand? Paragraph 4. What the AI decoded and why it's so frightening. 1. The AI finally decoded most of the letter. The full meaning became even more disturbing. The message didn't just criticize religion. It seemed to attack the very foundation of belief. One line read, "God thinks he can free mortals." Another said, "The Holy Trinity are dead weights." These phrases suggest that whoever wrote the letter believed God's power was useless or worse, harmful. It didn't sound like a cry for help. It sounded like a challenge. The writer seemed to believe that the system of heaven and hell, salvation and sin, was broken, and maybe, beyond repair. This wasn't the voice of a suffering nun. It was the voice of something colder, darker, and more calculating. The researchers who decoded the letter were shocked. They said the writing didn't sound human. It didn't follow the emotional patterns they expected. It was logical, consistent, and full of references to mythology, religion, and philosophy. Could the devil have truly spoken through Sister Maria? Or was she channeling something from deep inside her own mind, something humans still don't fully understand? Either way, the result was terrifying. It felt like a message meant to survive centuries and reach us when we were finally ready to understand it. Paragraph 5. Why the Vatican won't talk about it today. The original letter is hidden away in the archives of the Vatican. It's not on display. It's not openly discussed. In fact, when the researchers announced their findings, the Church made no official comment. The Vatican's silence has only added to the mystery. Some believe the church doesn't want people asking too many questions. Others say the Vatican has known what the letter said for years, but kept it secret to avoid panic. The office responsible for studying cases like this is called the Congregation for the Doctrine of the Faith. This department handles things like miracles, possessions, and other supernatural claims. But they have never released a report on Sister Maria's letter. Why? Was it because the letter was too dangerous or too strange? Or maybe it didn't fit the church's view of the world? Whatever the reason, their silence is loud. It makes people wonder if there's more to this story than we've been told. If this letter truly came from a dark force, then maybe the church wants to keep it buried literally and figuratively. And if it didn't, then why not release it and clear up the mystery once and for all? Paragraph 6. Could it have been a warning to the future? One of the most chilling ideas to come out of this story is that the letter may not have been meant for the people of 1676. It may have been written for us. Think about it back then. No one could read the letter. No one had the tools to understand it. But today, with artificial intelligence and powerful software, we were finally able to translate it. What if the message was always meant to be unlocked in the future? What if it's a warning about the world we live in now? The letter says, "This is not the order of salvation. We are in danger." That sounds like a message meant for someone, not just a random thought. Could it be warning us about a spiritual problem in today's world? About how faith is changing? Or about a hidden force we don't see? Some researchers believe the letter speaks about a system that has failed, a world where religion doesn't help people anymore, a place where people are lost, confused, and in danger not from war or disease, but from losing their souls. If that's true, then the letter isn't just a creepy story. It's a message, a very old, very dark message, meant for us. Paragraph 7. The big question: was it possession or genius? So now, we're left with a haunting question. Who or what really wrote that letter? Was it a smart but mentally ill woman, creating a mysterious message from inside her mind? Was she a linguistic genius hiding inside a convent? That seems hard to believe, especially when she never had access to other languages, books, or teaching. Or was she possessed by something she couldn't control? Something that used her hand to deliver a message from beyond? Even today, scientists, priests, and historians can't agree. Some say it's all nonsense. Others think it's the most important warning we've ever received. But there's one thing everyone agrees on. This letter was not random. It was not a joke. It was carefully written with a purpose. And the fact that we needed artificial intelligence to decode it centuries later makes it even stranger. Maybe the real truth is somewhere in between. Maybe Sister Maria was a sensitive soul who connected to something the rest of us can't see. Maybe her mind opened a door that let something else in. And maybe, just maybe, that something is still watching, waiting, and speaking to us through the only tool we'd finally learned to use: technology. Conclusion: should we be afraid? The story of Sister Maria's letter is one of the most chilling mysteries in history. A 17th century nun, a coded message, and a devil's voice that reached across time. Whether you believe in possession, mental illness, or ancient warnings, the letter makes one thing clear: there are still things we don't understand. We like to think that science explains everything, that we're too smart to believe in old stories about the devil. But when a modern AI reads a message from the past and finds a warning that feels aimed at our present, it makes you pause. It makes you wonder what other messages are out there waiting to be found. Maybe Sister Maria wasn't crazy. Maybe she was the first to hear something we've all been ignoring. And maybe the real question isn't, was this a message from the devil, but are we listening now? Because if that letter really was a warning, we may already be too late.